What is going on, Knicks Nation? We are so back. The New York Knicks, pretty much from start to finish, handled the Orlando Magic in this game in Madison Square Garden. And look, this was a huge, huge win considering the circumstances coming into this game, right? The Orlando Magic coming into this game, the Magic were ahead of the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference standings. And you could tell from the jump, from tip-off, the New York Knicks were not losing this ball game. The Knicks were not losing this basketball game. The energy that they were playing with in that first quarter, they took a lead, and they didn't let up. They led throughout the whole game, a game that the New York Knicks never trailed. You love to hear that. You love to see that, considering, the circumstances. Jalen Brunson comes back, makes his return, and looks like he didn't really miss a beat, right? Brunson in that first quarter set the tone. He had 10 points in that first quarter, and he was balling. He set the tone. He was balling. He set the tone for the Knicks. Josh Hart set the tone for the Knicks. Precious. Everyone for the New York Knicks played absolutely incredible tonight, and tonight was a big win. Look, Magic came in here. You didn't beat them all season long. This was your last opportunity to beat the Orlando Magic, and from start to finish, the New York Knicks, they came out with their energy. They came out tough. They were not losing this game. And that's what you absolutely love to see from the squad. It's been a rough couple of weeks, really 3 weeks for the Knicks now. And games like tonight it really like brings you back to sort of like the January vibes we were feeling, right? It was awesome. And then we got the OG Anunoby news before the game that I'll touch on later on in the post game. But all around great win, man. All around great win. Joel, what's going on? Big Taz says, we are back. Big Taz, man, what's going on? We are so back, man. We are back. Iriz or Iris? Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Okay, early on in the squad in the building. What's going on, man? Yeah, man, this was a huge win for the squad. Huge win for the New York Knicks. We'll go through it all. Precious Achiuwa is in the building. Precious Achiuwa is in the building. S550, man, always appreciate you in here. Everyone played well. Great win. Tony, what's going on, brother? Hope all is well with you. S550 says, let's go Knicks. I'm glad Thibs finally is being proactive. Didn't let Burks play the second half and let Brunson rest with time left. Yeah, Brunson, you could tell, was on a little bit of a minute restriction. But, I mean, I guess we could touch on Alec Burks later on in the postgame, but I don't want to, bring negativity to this postgame right now. But he's just been bad. But Johnson says Grimes is better than Bogdanovic and Burks. Great win, but completely disappointed with these two guys. We'll touch on that later in the post game, but yeah, I have some words I have my thoughts on that whole situation. Cam says salute, and this was the big necessary win back in the fourth. Check Paolo and friends. They thought they had our number. Not so fast. Magic, let's go Knicks. Like I said, opening up this post game. The Magic were ahead of the New York Knicks. Now the New York Knicks jump ahead of them in the standings. This was a massive win for the New York Knicks, simply based on the fact that we're in the teens now. There's only 19 games left in the season, if I'm not mistaken. So it's starting to it's crunch time right now. It is crunch time. You got to beat the teams. I think the Knicks are better than the Magic, even though they've had our number throughout the season. But you got to beat teams at home, and you got to beat teams at home. You got Philly on Sunday. And then you got Philly again, and then you go on a West Coast trip. Awesome game for the New York Knicks. Dame 2 says, I want you to put the word out that we back up. Ben Stiller had a tweet, and I sort of agree with it. Tonight felt different. Tonight felt one of those games that we were feeling in January, where everything was on. Everything was awesome. The Knicks were winning. The MSG was going crazy. Fans were going crazy. I was going crazy. Tonight felt like one of those games. Maybe that's because of the OG Anunoby news we got prior to the game. He's practicing, and he is on the verge of returning. So, which is why I think tonight it was a little bit of juice in the atmosphere. Like the Knicks just, maybe it's because the energy that the Knicks brought in the beginning of the game, start to game, and really throughout the whole game, there was a little bit of juice in Madison Square Garden. There was a little bit of juice in the arena. And you could feel it through the television. You could feel it you could feel it through the TV. The fans in MSG were simply awesome tonight, and it felt good, man. It really felt good to get one of these wins, especially against the Magic. Magic had been playing extremely well. Let's not forget that. Magic have been one of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference. They come into Madison Square Garden, and the New York Knicks simply said, "Hold my beer. It's time for us to beat you guys," and well deserved, man. I mean, we'll touch on these great performances tonight. I mean, Miles McBride has sort of played himself into a massive role on this team, and he has taken Alec Burks' minutes. The way McBride his play has been awesome, guys. Miles McBride's play has been simply incredible. The way he has improved this season with everything. I mean, defense, his shooting, his playmaking is even starting to come about. And he has taken Alec Burks' minutes, and I don't think Alec Burks is going to. What did he play tonight? How many minutes did Burks play tonight? Not even 10, right? And I think that's just going to continue, especially when OG Anunoby comes back. Burks played 5 minutes. 5 minutes for Alec Burks tonight. So, and McBride just out. He has been out playing in for a while now. So, yeah, man. Evan says we are about a week away from full power. It feels like it. It feels like it, right? It feels like the New York Knicks are on the brink. OG Anunoby can't return Sunday. He's practicing in full, and it's up to the doctors at this moment to clear OG Anunoby to play in an NBA basketball game, which gets me excited. And it's on the horizon. He can play Sunday, or if not, the game after that. But in the next couple of games, expect OG Anunoby back on the court for the New York Knicks. And just saying that brings excitement to the atmosphere. I mean, it's we missed him, and obviously Randall's right behind him. So, Evan, man, we're almost there, man. Almost at full power. CM says Shake brought into the team, can dribble out final minute with players playing 40 minutes. CM, what's going on? S550 says, I'm hoping OG plays Sunday against the Philadelphia 76ers. I think if it's not Sunday, I think it's the game after that, before the West Coast trip. It's coming, though. It's coming. Evan says Miles has to learn how to run an offense. Look, does Miles McBride have his moments when you're, like you're saying, learn how to run an offense? But he's just playing well in the role that the New York Knicks are placing him in. Like, not taking too many shots, 5 of 7 tonight, 3 of 3 from three-point land. His three-point shot, he's shooting over 42% from three. 1 assist, 3 rebounds tonight. He's doing everything that the New York Knicks have asked him to do. He's not out there doing too much, right? And when you pair him with Anunoby coming in, Tom Thibodeau likes to stagger Anunoby with the bench unit. I think we're going to see that playmaking ability that you're referring to. It's pronounced I rise. Knicks have a vendetta to take out on the whole league. I rise. All right, man. Appreciate you in the chat. I rise. Yeah, I mean, look. Precious Achiuwa. I mean, career high 5 blocks tonight for Precious Achiuwa. And this was Precious's 17th start of the season. I want you guys to think about that really quick. He has started 17 games for the New York Knicks this season. And when he was acquired, he was obviously spelling Julius Randle. Until Randle got hurt, then you insert Precious. 17 games for Precious. And you can say in those 17 games, 70 to 80% of those games, he has played awesome. He has played great. Career high 5 blocks tonight for the New York Knicks. He had Paolo on lock tonight. Paolo Banchero couldn't do anything tonight on offense, and 5 blocks for Precious. Got Paolo a couple of times. Even Hartenstein looked like his normal self a little bit, 20 minutes from Hartenstein. But Precious, man, I'm really thoroughly impressed with Precious Achiuwa. 14 boards, 3 offensive rebounds. And Tom Thibodeau made up for the fact that last game Precious didn't come in the fourth quarter, which was kind of insane. 39 minutes for Precious tonight. And he lessened the minutes for Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic didn't play that much tonight, mostly due to the fact that, Tom Thibodeau doesn't want Bogdanovic on Paolo Banchero. That right there is a recipe for disaster. So he wanted to mix and match with Orlando's bigs, and Precious was holding on the fort. 14 boards, 5 blocks, plus 25, and he even scored 15 points for Precious Achiuwa. He was doing it all. Evan says, I hope we get the Heat in the first round at full strength. Evan, be careful what you wish for, Evan. Be careful what you wish for, man. Look, just make it in the top 6 at this point. Get in the top 6. Preferably, you want to be number 4 in the Eastern Conference, so you can get that home court advantage. Just get in the top 6. You're right there on the brink of, you were on the brink of the play-in tournament. Let me pull up these standings so we can go through this together. Updated standings on the Eastern Conference. Is this it? Yeah. All right. This is why tonight was a big win, man. I mean, now you're half a game ahead of Orlando. Orlando came in here ahead of you. And look, everyone lost. Celtics have been losing, even though they're going to stay at number 1. Bucks have been winning lately. Cleveland, without Donovan Mitchell. Orlando has been, 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've been hot. Miami, 7-3 in their last 10 games. Now you're in the 4th seed. You're a half game ahead of Orlando in the 4th seed. You're still 2 games from the play-in tournament. You're kind of separating yourself a little bit. You have Philadelphia twice coming up on Sunday. You play them in a home-and-home in Madison Square Garden, which those 2 games are very important. This is why this game was massive. You win tonight, kind of separate yourself from Orlando. Not really half game, but still. You jump ahead of them. Philly is in the play-in tournament. They're without Embiid, obviously, and you just imagine, let's say we win both of those games, and you kind of separate yourself even more from the Philadelphia 76ers. So this is why tonight, the New York Knicks, from start to finish, they had it in their eyes, especially Josh Hart, man. Josh Hart, I will speak about him in a second, but they had it in their eyes that they were not losing this game. And you saw it with Jalen Brunson coming out. What do you guys think of Brunson and Anthony Black getting into it in that first quarter? Kind of set the tone a little bit. And I was like, really, Anthony Black, you want to mess with Jalen Brunson like that? That was kind of strange from him, but it kind of set the tone a little bit. Then Josh Hart over these last few weeks, Josh Hart has been absolutely incredible. I mean, you could say that for a lot of Knicks, but Josh Hart and Precious really stand out. And obviously, Brunson, but I'm just really impressed with what we're seeing from Hart. S550 says the Knicks put on a defensive clinic. Achiuwa held it down. Banchero like a beast. Look, Achiuwa had Banchero on lock all game. So shout out to Precious Achiuwa, man. He played his butt off. He really played his butt off tonight. And Paolo Banchero is is turning himself into one of the best players in the NBA. And for Precious to have a career high in blocks like tonight, and 5 blocks against one of the premier players in the NBA, that's tough, man. That is tough, man. Precious is on fire, man. Precious equal doubles, yeah, man. Tyler, what's going on, man? Hope all is well with you, Tyler. Another day, another win of the season. This was a big-time game. Start to finish, this was a big-time game. Kind of separate yourself from the Orlando Magic a little bit. Jump ahead of them. They came in here ahead of you. Start to finish, the Knicks had it in their eyes that they were not losing this basketball game. CM says we can match any Precious offer restricted. Yeah, I mean, the Knicks are going to have a tough decision this summer with Hart signing Precious, but look, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. At this moment, didn't this win it felt good, but it felt like Ben Stiller had a tweet, which I really loved. He said, it feels like the beginning of a new phase we knew was coming. Feels like the beginning of the new phase we knew what was coming. And it feels like that because of OG Anunoby. He's on the brink. He's on the brink of returning. And the month of January was so amazing for the squad, and it feels like we're going to get back to that. It does. I know it's been a struggle, but tonight it feels like the start of something. And I hope that, we can build off of this. We got a big win in Cleveland. The Atlanta game was it was a bad game. But tonight, the New York Knicks really, really took care of business. And shout out to the squad, man, especially Brunson. Shout out to JB, man. 17 points at the half for Jalen Brunson. After that scare he gave us. Gotta love it. Got a poll in the chat. Who was the player of the game to you? Where'd the poll go? Oh, here it is. Player of the game, Jalen Brunson, Precious Achiuwa, Josh Hart, or everyone. Team effort. Everyone, team effort. 40% of the votes, 15 votes. Yeah, man. Everyone stepped up, man. Everyone stepped up tonight. But if I were to give a player of the game tonight, to me, it would be Precious. It would be Precious. And Josh Hart is a close second, but it would be Precious. I mean, honestly, did we expect this from Precious when we acquired him? I didn't. Raptors fans were on Twitter, on X, saying that Precious was always a great defender, always had that knick-knack for offensive rebounding. But look, when he's having games like this against premier offensive players in the NBA, look, when Randall comes back, he's going to get minutes off the bench. He's going to find minutes. Tom Thibodeau is going to find minutes for him. But look, man, shout out to Precious. Precious freaking Achiuwa. Precious Achiuwa tonight was absolutely amazing for the Knicks. All right, let's go back to this box score. So, yeah, guys, big win for the New York Knicks tonight. It had to be done. No excuses. This was the last game of the season versus the Orlando Magic. And what if we faced the Orlando Magic in the playoffs? Do you guys think that would be a heck? I think that would be a heck of a series, honestly. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think that we'll pull off that series. But would you be confident if we were to face the Magic in a 7-game series? I would, simply based on the fact that the playoff experience is like Knicks have the playoff experience. Magic don't really have that playoff experience. But if we were to play the Magic in a 7-game series, I would like that. And that's the matchup right now. 4 or 5. Knicks are number 4, Magic number 5. If it stays like this, you're looking at a first-round matchup against the Orlando Magic. That would be a fun little series that I ultimately think, obviously, the Knicks would be favored in that series. But because if you look right now, it's either going to be Miami, Orlando, or maybe Cleveland in the first round. I don't see Philly, Indiana. I don't see Philly or Indiana jumping in that 5 seed. So right now you're looking at Orlando, Miami, or Cleveland in the first round. Obviously, me personally, you want Orlando. And then, you could say that about Cleveland too. We have Cleveland's number. Like, obviously, there's something about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Whenever the Knicks face them, they just take it up a whole nother notch. They take it up a whole nother level. But if the season were to end today, the New York Knicks would be playing the Orlando Magic in a 7-game series. And I kind of want to stay away from the Miami Heat in a 7-game series. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't want to face them in the first round because for obvious reasons, but I think that'll be a pretty fun series, the Knicks and the Magic. But I do think it's going to be the 76ers, Miami, or the Magic. Evan says, I think iHeart is out as well. Evan, let's worry about the summertime contracts when the summertime hits. Let's worry about Isaiah Hartenstein in the summertime and Precious in the summertime. Right now, we have to worry about, obviously, and Anunoby's on the brink of returning. Looks like next game he's going to return for the New York Knicks. Randall is right behind him, and I do think Mitch is right behind that. So that's exciting, man. Evan says, let's get Miami first. We have Miami's number 2. Evan, I don't want to play Miami in the first round. I guarantee you if you put up a poll and you say, who would you rather play in the first round? The Magic, Miami, or Philadelphia? The Philadelphia 76ers in the first round is, look, the wild card is Embiid, right? If he returns in the first round, that's a different story. But obviously it'll be Orlando or Cleveland, because Cleveland, for obvious reasons. I'm not worried about Cleveland in the first round, but if the season were to end today, the New York Knicks will be playing the Magic. And I like our chances in that matchup, because obviously OG Anunoby, you put him on Paolo Banchero, Randall will do his thing, Brunson would do his thing. The Magic would try to throw Anthony Black at him, and who else is there? They have a guard that's injured currently on the Magic. He hasn't played for a while now. I forgot his name. Why is his name escaping me? Suggs. Yeah, they're trying to throw Jalen Suggs. They're a tough, scrappy team. Don't get me wrong, but the playoff experience in that first round the New York Knicks will get that edge from the Magic, and I like that. But look, huge win. Evan says Embiid's on life alert. He's cooked. Look, be careful what you wish for, man. Be careful what you wish for, Evan. But look, Precious Achiuwa, 39 minutes, 15 points, 14 boards, 4 assists, 5 blocks tonight for Precious. Great game for him, man. Josh Hart, another 42-minute game for Josh Hart, 8 of 12, efficient, screaming at the crowd, screaming at the MSG crowd, 3 of 5 from 3, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 19 minutes. I think Josh Hart has played better than last season. Remember when we acquired him? It was an incredible stretch for Josh Hart, but his play lately, he's hit a 180. He started slow, but Josh Hart has really been that. He's his name. He's been the heart and soul of this team. He's been the heart and soul of this New York Knicks team. And he's sort of like the oil in the engine, in our engine. And he just keeps on getting it done. He's still efficient. Dante, 3 of 10. Hit some big threes, though. 11 points. S550 says 76ers and Heat lost, and the Cavs are in OT with Minnesota. Yeah, that is a score update. Appreciate you, S550. So, look, 76ers lost. That's huge. Heat lost. That's huge. Just worry about who's in front of you and worry about what you can control. 76ers are next. Back-to-back game against the Philadelphia 76ers in Madison Square Garden. And you should be getting OG Anunoby back for those games. One of those games, I think he's going to come back. If not, definitely the West Coast trip. It's coming. It's on the horizon with OG Anunoby. All right. Bogdanovic. 12 minutes tonight for Bogdanovic. You know, it's... Who brought it up in the chat? The concern about Bogdanovic and Burks. I think the Alec Burks experience is starting to come to an end. I do. I think Burks is starting to fall out of the rotation. You're seeing it more and more now with his minutes. They're starting to decline. 5 minutes tonight. And look, 12 minutes last game, 11 minutes at Cleveland, 5 minutes tonight. He hasn't cracked 20 minutes since at Orlando, 30 minutes when Alec Burks played. So you're starting to see his minutes decline. And I'm hoping Alec Burks can snap out of it, but he just hasn't fit the bill. Those guys have been really disappointing, especially Burks. I put out a video about them, Burks and Bogdanovic, but especially Burks. Bogdanovic, I still do think that he'll hit a few big shots. I still do think that Bogdanovic only needs to be surrounded by great defenders, right? And then hopefully, because his defense, Burks and Bogdanovic's defense is bad. So I think Bogdanovic will snap out of it. He's had some blow-up games for us, the Philadelphia game, the Houston game. He's shown us more than Alec Burks. But Burks right now has been bad. He's been terrible, to say the least. I mean, just look at these numbers. 5 minutes, 2 attempts, 0 from 2. 0-1 from 3. I mean, he could have just sat in the locker room tonight. He could have just stayed in the locker room. But McBride has been outplaying him. right? It's one thing if we just have Burks and that's our only option. The great thing about that trade was that it gave us many options that we can go to. If Burks doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. If Bogdanovic doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. Playoff times, rotations shrink. And if Alec Burks is playing less than 5 minutes tonight, he's not gonna. I don't see him playing heavy minutes in a playoff series. I don't. Not at all. Bogdanovic, I see playing big minutes off the bench in a playoff series, but Burks, no. Dame says Burks has been a huge disappointment. He has. No way around it. And the good thing is McBride has been playing well, so it's kind of like tonight it kind of overshadowed Burks' 5 minutes. He was if he's not scoring, what does he do? Nothing. If Alec Burks isn't scoring, he can't do anything, And I'm sure Leon Rose and the Knicks front office and Tom Thibodeau are a little bit disappointed, but they brought him in here in the hopes of, riding the ship, hoping that, until the reinforcements gets back, and it's failed. It's failed. Look at these three, 1 of 7 last game, 1 of 3, 1 of 3. I mean, he hasn't hit more than 1-3 in 8 games for the New York Knicks. So it hasn't worked for Burks. But do I think that there's a silver lining? Do I think that there's hope at the end of the road? Do I think that he'll snap out of it? I hope so. I do. But if he doesn't, we got guys stepping up, because if you look at Miles McBride's stat line over these last couple of weeks, I mean, let me just pull it up for you guys so you guys can see it. Let me screen share again. I mean, McBride has been awesome. Go to his game log. I mean, look at the minute distribution. It's like night and day. Let me move my camera so you guys can see the minutes for McBride. All right, I can't move my camera. I can't move my. Why am I locked? But yeah, I mean the points. I mean, he's had double digit in points in the last 5 games. Miles McBride. It's 14 points tonight, 11 points versus Atlanta, Cleveland, and look at the minutes. 19 minutes tonight, 46, 47, 22, 40. He's playing He's playing absolutely, awesome. I mean, he's playing awesome. I mean, his play lately has been incredible for the New York Knicks. And, I mean, look at these 3-point shots. 3 of 3 tonight, 3 of 10, 4 of 9, 2 of 3, 2 of 7. It's like when he's open, he's making them. And credit to the work ethic. Credit to the work ethic for Miles McBride. He's been absolutely playing, awesome for the New York Knicks. And you couldn't have asked for a better season from him. When we traded quickly, we thought that who was going to bring that extra punch, and long and behold, it's been Miles McBride. It's been Miles McBride that has been bringing us that extra spark off the bench. So, huge win for the Knicks, man. Orlando got to get a win. Knicks came into tonight with that look in their eyes that we were not losing this game. Came into tonight, won the game, led the game for the majority of the season. Shout out to the boys. Hart, Brunson, Achiuwa played absolutely incredible tonight. Anunoby's on the brink of returning, man. He's coming. What do you guys think of the Knicks jerseys? What do you guys think of the Knicks jerseys that they wore tonight? I think that, the Knicks have obviously the many colorways. They have the city jerseys that have actually grown on me this season. I really love the city edition jerseys with the double New York in the front of the jerseys. But the jersey tonight is just probably one of my least favorite colorways for the Knicks. I don't know. I don't know if that's just me, or I'm not rocking with it. I'm not rocking with the jerseys that they like. It's cool, but I'd prefer the home whites in Madison Square Garden than these jerseys. Like, I'm not too thrilled with these jerseys. Like the blue. Let me see if I can. Like the dark blue and the orange stripes at the end of the jersey with the orange New York. It's cool, but it's not my preference. It's not my preference. Johnson says not only Burks, Bogdanovic is significantly worse than Grimes as well. the thing is, you replace Quentin Grimes, a young, obviously, he has more juice than Bogdanovic. He has more juice than Burks. He is more athletic than those two. You replace Grimes with essentially Burks and Bogdanovic, more like Bogdanovic, because Burks has been terrible. But look, I still don't think we can judge the trade yet. I still don't think we can judge the trade yet. I want to see everyone in the rotation. I want to see Randall. I want to see OG and Anunoby. And then I want to see how it looks. I don't even think Burks is going to play when those guys get back, but I want to see how it looks with those guys, But it's been disappointing. It's been disappointing. You're not going to beat around the bush. It has been disappointing. Dame 2 says, as long as they win, I don't care what jerseys they wear. Yeah. I wouldn't buy those. I wouldn't buy these jerseys that they wore tonight. I wouldn't. But look, like you said, man, as long as they win, I don't give a damn. S550 says, I'm predicting both wins against the Philadelphia 76ers. Speak it into existence. Please speak it into existence, because we can honestly separate ourselves even more, solidify ourselves in the top 6, because it has gotten close in the Eastern Conference. Let me pull up the Knicks schedule. Really quick. All right, so just look at January and then look at February with all these L's. But look, big win, man. Had to get back on track and had to get the job done. So Philly coming up on Sunday, and then back-to-back against Philly against Tuesday in Madison Square Garden. S550 says he's projecting both W's against the Philadelphia 76ers. Speeding to existence. I think they can get it done. I really do. We beat them the last time in Philly without Embiid. I do think in Madison Square Garden, you got to take care of business. Worst case, you split it, right? Worst case, Philadelphia splits it with you. It's tough beating the same team back-to-back, but worst case, you split it. Joel says OG coming back on March 16th. That's my projection. S550 says looks like Cavs are going to get the W against Minnesota. Yeah. So March 16th, Joel, I think it's the 12th or the 14th. I think it's probably the back end against the Tuesday game versus Philadelphia, or the Thursday game to start the West Coast trip at Portland. Maybe he takes another game off, but he comes back. If he comes back on Sunday, great. But I do think it's one of these games. And look, Chris and I on the podcast, we basically projected one of these games that OG and Anunoby will come back, and it's looking like it's going to be one of these games. I'm excited for it. Joel is throwing haymakers, and the Nets should move to New Jersey. We own New York. New Jersey would be great supporter. Look, Brooklyn's going through a lot right now. They're struggling, but I do think they should move to New Jersey. But that's another conversation for another day. Always appreciate you in here, Joel. But guys, big win. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Post game. Appreciate every single one of you supporting. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We will be back live streaming Sunday evening at 9:30, right after the game, doing the podcast. Hope to see every single one of you guys in here, in there. But big win for the Knicks, man. Absolutely incredible win for the squad. Had to get a dub, and we got a dub. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to the boys. OG's on the horizon. OG is on the horizon. I'm Anthony. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good night. As always, let's go Knicks. Peace.